Every year, all 32 NFL teams come together for the offseason's most exciting attraction. At the NFL Draft, each franchise looks to improve their teams by selecting the stars of the next generation. But, as many draft enthusiasts know, the outcome is not always predictable. Players expected to become the next NFL superstars often are relegated to the sole remembrance as infamous draft busts. On the other hand, players expected to barely make rosters sometimes emerge as the NFL's biggest success stories. Each player selected by the Baltimore Ravens has this chance, the chance to make a name for himself on football's highest stage. In the next couple of weeks, we will take a look at each of Baltimore's 8 selections in the 2019 NFL Draft class. This is the Marquise Brown story. Marquise Brown's football career can be characterized by one word: ease. At Oklahoma, he sliced through defenses like a hot knife through butter and dominated with a seemingly effortless effort. Both quarterbacks he played for won the Heisman Trophy, college football's highest honor, and he was named the 2019 NFL Draft's best receiver by the Baltimore Ravens. But unlike his football career, Marquise Brown's life has not been so easy. In short, the success story of Marquise Brown should never have happened. When Marquise Brown's mother, Shannon, was pregnant, her doctors uncovered some startling news. She faced major complications in her kidneys, which would ultimately fail. Her pregnancy was at risk, and she faced a nightmare scenario that no parent would ever wish on their worst enemies. Despite the risk, Shannon selflessly decided to continue her pregnancy. She was hospitalized for most of the 9 months and needed IV tubes to feed her and her baby. Shannon's miracle baby was born on June 4th, 1997. Marquise Brown was 2 weeks early and weighed just 5 pounds and 6 ounces. Brown was small from the start, but he would never let that hold him back. Marquise Brown grew up outside Miami in Hollywood, Florida. His mother Shannon raised Brown and his older sister on her own, with help from her parents. Her health situation only worsened as time went on, and Shannon frequently returned to the hospital. Despite all the hardships she faced, Shannon made sure that she raised her children the best she could. Marquise Brown started playing football early in his youth. His Pop Warner League included a young Lamar Jackson, and the two grew up together in the same area of Florida. As he grew older, Brown played football at Chaminade Madonna High School. Despite being undersized, his speed gave him a major advantage over opponents. Brown was determined to play Division I college football, but there was one small problem. Most Division I programs did not want the undersized receiver. He committed to Utah State, but never played a down for the Aggies. As a last resort, Brown enrolled at the College of the Canyons, a junior college just outside of the more famous Hollywood in Los Angeles, California. As a college student in a faraway state with little money, Marquise Brown got a job at Six Flags, where he operated the X2 roller coaster to make enough money to pay rent. He only made about $700 a month, and $400 of it went towards rent. He could only spend about $100 per month on food. He often walked or rode a bicycle to practice, as he could not even afford a car. Eventually, a teammate and friend who lived in the area convinced his parents to let Marquise Brown stay with them. Brown's freshman year at the College of the Canyons started off with a bang. He scored a touchdown in each of his first 2 games, and finally gained the attention of Division I college football programs. He received offers from prestigious universities like USC and Texas. It was Oklahoma, though, that ultimately won his heart, and the miracle baby that could barely afford to live was now off to play at one of college football's premier programs. At Oklahoma, Marquise Brown excelled as a wide receiver, but there is one attribute he possesses that literally blows away the competition: his speed. Although he did not run at the NFL Combine, as he was forced to sit out after a Linz-Frank foot surgery, Brown was considered to be among the fastest wide receivers of the draft class. Brown stands at just 5'9" and weighs only 166 pounds. His arm length is just 30.5 inches, and his hand size is just 9 inches. The wide receiver may be small, but the elite speed he possesses more than makes up for it. Brown can shift into gears that almost no one else can, and this allows him to create separation between defensive backs and himself. Most would-be pass defenders simply do not have the speed to keep up with them. Those that do are subjected to Brown's crisp routes, which are consistently ran to perfection. His quick cuts and sharp moves allow him to stick to the outline of the route and makes a quarterback's job much easier. Brown is also a consistent catcher. Although one can find a few drops here and there on his tape, he almost always hauls in the ball when prompted to. The one disadvantage he has while making a move for the ball is his size. At 5'9", he is undersized, and when matched up against big-bodied defensive backs, he sometimes lacks the ability to go vertical and snag a football. Therefore, most passes that he gets in the NFL will need to be accurate darts. Quarterbacks will need to find him when he's open, instead of giving him the chance to win 50-50 balls. He may be able to win these 50-50 contests in the NFL. He frequently did so in college, but the increase in size and ability in his competition may be a problem. Marquise Brown's abilities align in a way that makes him one of the most explosive players in football. However, this ability is jeopardized by concerns about his durability. He injured his foot at the end of the year and needed surgery to repair it in the offseason. This specific injury should not slow him down. The foot has no real impact on his running motion. However, players at Brown's size are often vulnerable to injuries. The Ravens will need to be wary of this moving forward. The Baltimore Ravens were originally slated to make their first-round selection with the 22nd overall pick. However, Baltimore traded back with the Philadelphia Eagles. The Ravens moved just 3 spots back into the 25th position and acquired extra draft capital along the way. The Ravens secured the Eagles' 1st, 4th, and 6th round pick, numbers 25, 127, and 197 respectively, in exchange for the 22nd overall selection. With the 25th pick, the Baltimore Ravens selected Marquise Brown. Many analysts, including myself, named wide receiver as Baltimore's biggest need heading into the draft. Not only was the position one of great concern for new general manager Eric DeCosta, but finding a receiver to draft presented a challenge on its own. Baltimore has a history of not converting on wide receivers picked, and the first-year GM decided to take a swing at it early. The pick is somewhat unconventional for the Baltimore Ravens. Many are concerned about quarterback Lamar Jackson's ability to throw accurate passes. He struggled to do this throughout college, and in his first year in the NFL, the struggles remained visible. A big body wide receiver, one that can make spectacular catches and win 50-50 balls, was what many people, including myself, believed the Baltimore Ravens would target. However, Baltimore elected to match the speedy first-round quarterback with a speedy first-round receiver. The Ravens would find a big body wide receiver later in the draft. The Ravens did need a fast wide receiver. The departure of speedster John Brown left the specialty position without a player. The Ravens found John Brown's replacement in Marquise Brown. The most interesting facet about Baltimore's newest addition is his relationship with Lamar Jackson. As previously noted, the two grew up together in the same area in Florida, and even played Pop Warner football together. Marquise Brown said the two are close. The relationship should make a good quarterback-to-receiver connection. Brown should immediately start for the Baltimore Ravens. He instantly upgrades the wide receiver core and fills a need as a downfield burner and speed specialty player. Where he lines up on the field will not matter much, as he is sure to get many touches in this offense. Baltimore will likely use him in gadget scenarios as well. I expect him to get handoffs, jet sweeps, and possibly return man duties on top of his already important wide receiver reps. The decision to draft Marquise Brown was a good one, and Eric DeCosta should be happy with his first ever draft pick. If Marquise Brown turns out like the last general manager's first pick, he could find a new home in Canton one day. Baltimore not only addressed the need by picking Brown, but they found one of the hardest workers and most elite talents of the draft. Brown gets bonus points for already knowing the quarterback he will work with as well. The only disadvantage to the pick is that he does not fit the traditional role of a number one wide receiver, an archetypal position the Ravens badly need. He is undersized and not dependable on jump balls, but his athletic ability and explosiveness make up for what he does not have. The Ravens did not reach for the pick either. Most analysts believe Brown would be available near the end of the first round, and the Ravens even traded back before selecting him. On my evaluation scale, I would give Brown an 8.3 out of 10.0, making him one of the best receivers of the class. I have to give the Ravens a hand for this pick, and I give it an A- overall grade. Marquise Brown's career in Baltimore will be fun to watch. As the first pick of Baltimore's 2019 NFL draft class, he will lead the unit into the future. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more great Ravens content, including the analysis of other 2019 draft selections, which will be uploaded in the coming weeks. I'd like to give a huge shout out to Dominic, aka Ravens Anatomy, for helping out with the graphics seen in this video. Make sure to follow him at Ravens Anatomy on Twitter. You can follow me at Chris Linfont and the Baltimore Feather at BeMoreFeather on Twitter as well.